A desert city once rivaled the great capitals of the world, yet its name has faded from history. From forgotten streets to towering adobe walls, we'll uncover 10 hidden settlements, and number 1 is something almost nobody guesses. Hidden among the shifting dunes of northern Mexico, El Mirador Oasis flourished around 500 CE as a vital trade hub linking coastal peoples with inland highland societies. Archaeologists have uncovered a complex of adobe plazas, water management canals, and hieroglyphic murals that suggest a sophisticated political system. The settlement's strategic location near a rare underground aquifer allowed agriculture to thrive despite the arid climate, supporting a population estimated at several thousand. Trade artifacts, including turquoise and obsidian, indicate far-reaching connections across the continent. Yet, after a prolonged drought in the 9th century, the water source dwindled, prompting an exodus that left the city to be reclaimed by sand. Modern satellite imagery now reveals faint outlines of the once bustling streets, reminding us that thriving civilizations can vanish without a trace.
Ancient legends speak of Pueblo del Sol, a sun-facing settlement perched on the edge of the Atacama Desert, flourishing between the 7th and 12th centuries. Builders aligned their stone houses with the solstices, creating a calendar of light that guided agricultural cycles. Excavations have revealed terraces that harvested scarce moisture from morning fog, supporting maize and quinoa crops in an otherwise barren landscape. Pottery fragments display intricate solar motifs, indicating a culture deeply attuned to celestial patterns. By the 13th century, climatic shifts brought harsher winds and reduced precipitation, forcing residents to migrate toward the coast. Though the stone foundations remain, the city's name faded from oral histories, only to be rediscovered by modern researchers using lidar scanning. Pueblo del Sol stands as a testament to human adaptability and the profound role of astronomy in ancient desert societies.
By the 10th century, Ciudad de los Cactus emerged in the heart of the Sonoran Desert, its walls built from sun-baked adobe interlaced with towering saguaro trunks. The city's architects ingeniously incorporated living cacti into their construction, providing natural insulation against scorching daytime heat. Trade routes passing through the city brought shells, jade, and woven textiles, turning the settlement into a bustling market town. Scholars suggest that the city's governance was organized around a council of elder horticulturists, who regulated water rights and cactus cultivation. Around 1150, a severe drought combined with increased competition from neighboring polities led to a decline in trade, and the inhabitants gradually abandoned the site. Today, weathered stone arches peek through the spiny flora, offering a vivid illustration of how ecosystems and human design can intertwine in desert environments.
Few people know that La Laguna Perdida once thrived beside a now dry saline lake in the Bolivian Altiplano, flourishing between 800 and 1300 CE. The settlement's engineers carved a series of canals and cisterns that captured seasonal rains, creating a series of artificial lagoons that supported fishing and irrigated crops. Artifacts such as woven reed boats and fishhooks indicate a diet heavily reliant on the lake's resources. The community also produced distinctive woven textiles featuring geometric patterns that have been traced to trade exchanges with highland cultures. Around the early 14th century, tectonic activity altered the basin's hydrology, causing the lake to evaporate and leaving the city without its lifeline. Archaeologists have uncovered the remnants of the water management system, providing insight into how ancient peoples engineered resilience in an unforgiving environment.
Surprisingly, the remote high-altitude enclave of Sierra del Silencio rose in the Peruvian Andes during the 12th century, thriving despite its name suggesting silence. Built on a plateau overlooking steep cliffs, the settlement featured terraced fields that captured meltwater from seasonal snowcaps. Ceramic shards bearing glyphs reveal a unique script, hinting at an independent linguistic tradition. The community's diet combined quinoa, alpaca meat, and wild tubers, showcasing a diversified subsistence strategy. By the late 1300s, prolonged volcanic ash deposits reduced sunlight and hindered agriculture, prompting a gradual migration toward more fertile valleys. Today, stone foundations cling to the mountain's edge, and wind-carved corridors echo the whispers of a civilization that once turned isolation into a strategic advantage.
In the arid valleys of northern Chile, Valle de la Lluvia earned its name from the rare but intense summer thunderstorms that replenished its hidden aquifers. Established around 900 CE, the settlement's inhabitants constructed stone-lined cisterns that captured runoff, allowing them to cultivate beans and squash in an otherwise dry plain. Murals uncovered on the settlement's walls depict storm clouds and rain deities, underscoring the cultural importance of these fleeting rains. Trade beads and obsidian suggest connections with coastal fishing villages, creating a network that exchanged food for marine resources. Climate reconstructions indicate that a series of prolonged droughts in the 13th century dramatically reduced storm frequency, leading to water scarcity and eventual abandonment. The remnants of the cisterns remain visible, testifying to an ingenious adaptation to one of the harshest climates on Earth.
Later, around the 11th century, the builders of Los Templos de Piedra erected a complex of monolithic stone temples on the edge of the Chihuahuan Desert, aligning them with the sunrise on the equinox. These structures feature intricately carved reliefs depicting mythic creatures and agricultural rites, indicating a society that blended religious devotion with sophisticated farming practices. Archaeobotanical analysis shows that the community cultivated drought-resistant maize varieties and employed terracing to prevent soil erosion. The temples also served as communal gathering places for trade negotiations with nomadic caravans traversing the desert. By the early 14th century, shifts in regional trade routes diverted commerce away, and the temples fell into disuse, gradually being reclaimed by sand. Modern explorers can still see the towering silhouettes of the temples against the dawn sky, a silent reminder of a once vibrant spiritual hub.
Meanwhile, the narrow gorge of Cañón del Eco sheltered a fortified settlement that leveraged the canyon's natural acoustics for communication and defense. Built into the rock faces between the 9th and 12th centuries, the city's dwellings were connected by a series of stone walkways that amplified voices, allowing alarms to travel swiftly across the settlement. Pottery fragments reveal a blend of coastal and inland styles, suggesting a crossroads of cultures. Defensive walls incorporated strategically placed echo chambers that amplified battle cries, creating a psychological edge over invading forces. Around 1250, increased conflict with expanding neighboring chiefdoms forced the inhabitants to abandon the canyon, seeking safer terrain. Today, echoes still reverberate through the stone corridors, offering a haunting glimpse into the ingenuity of those who once called the canyon home.
Finally, the oasis town of Puerto del Desierto thrived as a rare desert port along a now dry riverbed in what is present-day northern Argentina. Established circa 1000 CE, the settlement capitalized on seasonal flooding that turned the riverbed into a navigable waterway for small canoes, facilitating trade between inland agricultural societies and distant coastal fishers. Excavations have uncovered wooden dock remnants, fishhooks, and amphorae filled with salt and dried fish, indicating a bustling exchange economy. The town's layout featured a central plaza surrounded by granaries, reflecting a well-organized social structure. Climate models suggest that a shift toward aridity in the 13th century reduced river flow, rendering the port unusable and prompting residents to relocate inland. The abandoned docks now lie beneath layers of sand, marking the fleeting nature of water-dependent desert settlements.
Ultimately, La Ciudad del Silencio stands as the climax of this forgotten saga, a sprawling metropolis that once rivaled the size of contemporary coastal cities before vanishing beneath relentless sandstorms. Founded around 1100 CE, the city's architects designed massive windbreak walls and underground chambers to protect against the region's infamous sandstorms, which could last for weeks. Sophisticated irrigation canals drawn from deep aquifers supported extensive gardens, while monumental plazas hosted markets and ceremonies. Artifacts such as bronze tools and intricate jewelry indicate a high level of craftsmanship and trade connections stretching to Mesoamerica. However, a series of severe climatic fluctuations in the late 14th century intensified sandstorm activity, overwhelming the city's defenses and forcing a rapid evacuation. Today, satellite imagery reveals only faint geometric patterns beneath the dunes, offering a haunting reminder of a civilization that once turned the desert into a thriving urban landscape.
We've traversed centuries of sand and stone, uncovering how each forgotten desert city reshaped our understanding of the Americas past. These resilient societies thrived where modern eyes rarely look, proving that history's most compelling chapters often lie beneath the dunes. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe so you don't miss the next mind-blowing list that explores hidden corners of our world. Which city surprised you most? And why? Let me know in the comments, and if you found the story worth sharing, give it a like. Thanks for watching.